YouTube. I just finished filming my Sunday conversation coming up at the end of the week and thought I would pop in and look some more at uh, these nomination hearings that are going on. So we had Pete Hegseth this morning, who has been nominated as Secretary of Defense, shady character, entertainment purposes only, YouTube. And I predicted that he would get through, that his nomination would be approved. Um, and I'm going to stick with that nomination. I did watch some of the hearing this morning, and I'm going to stick with my prediction because they only had one round of questioning. And, it's pretty clear that, you know, he's been protected, guided, guarded, supported. They've done all the things that they need to do to get him through because 45, that's a hill he's willing to die on. So I, again, repeat my prediction that Pete Hegseth, unfortunately and undeservedly, will be approved as Secretary of Defense. I would look at Tulsi Gabbard, but her nomination has been pushed off till next week or the week after, and that's because she has not passed the security clearance. There are still questions about her. So before they can proceed with the hearing, that has to be taken care of. So we'll put her aside, but I also think that Tulsi Gabbard is a hill that 45 is willing to die on. So let's look at some of the others. Let's look at Pam Bondi. Now, if you recall, Pam Bondi, she of Florida fame, who did all kinds of favors for 45 back in the day, is being nominated, has been nominated for Attorney General after the disaster that was Matt Gaetz. So Pam Bondi, she is a diehard, well, they're all diehard, you can pretty much assume that, but a diehard Trump loyalist. And I'm just curious to see whether her nomination will get through. We'll use the older woman for her. She's not old, but she's not young either, so we'll use the older woman for her. Okay, this is Pam Bondi for Attorney General, and we're looking to see whether her nomination will be successful. So we're looking for the older woman card that will stand for her. Okay, so that's Pam Bondi. And we're putting these two to the left, these two to the right. And so the cards that we have for her are the stork, the house, here she is, Pam Bondi, the lily, and the ring. She will be the new Attorney General. I don't need to pull clarifiers. I think she'll get in. So that's that for her. You know, as I talk about whether I'm going to pull clarifiers or not, I had a viewer yesterday say to me that they were very polite, very nice about it, but they said they were confused because sometimes I'll pull X number of clarifiers for a certain card, but then Y clarifiers or no clarifiers for another card. And so she couldn't figure out the system. And what I said was that the way that I read, first of all, this is not meant to be a teaching channel. I grant you that you are learning a lot about a system with which you may have been unfamiliar, Lenormand. That's fantastic. That's terrific. But my teaching tools already exist in the form of the book and the course. And if you hit the more button, you can see how to access those. If you are learning here, it's just by osmosis. And if it looks as though I am not being consistently systematic in the way that I pull cards, you would be correct. And that is because, quiet as it's kept, uh, I read using intuition. So I listen to what I'm given in addition to what I'm shown. And sometimes I require extra cards to get more information. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just listen to what I'm given, and I'm given what I need in order to communicate with you. So if you are sensing a lack of, uniformity in the way that I pull, that's accurate. You're correct. These are just like any reading that you would see, on YouTube. Uh, People pull cards as they pull cards, as they are drawn to pull cards, right? Because they're not teaching channels any more than this one is a teaching channel. I am a teacher by trade, and so it may seem like this is a teaching channel, but it's not. I am predicting and opining, um, and doing commentary, etc. And if you are learning Lenormand in the process, that's terrific. But if you'd like a more systematic explanation of how the system works, not to sound like the pillow guy, but buy my book. It's all in there. Another thing that before I go on to look at the other nominees, I had another viewer who said, oh, this was a recent comment. They said, so I guess hope is lost because I'm saying that 45 will be inaugurated on Monday. And I responded to them, but I think I want to respond here with my voice and my face, so you can get that I'm sincere when I say this. Is hope lost, as far as I'm concerned, that 45 will be inaugurated on the 20th? Do I think hope is lost that will not happen? Yeah, he will be inaugurated. That hope is lost. But writ large, is hope lost? No. No. What we can hope is that we that we will choose to learn from these hard lessons that we are about to endure, right? If we learn the hard lessons, if we confront ourselves as a nation, if we decide, if we decide to a person that we want to create a more perfect union and be better than we are, if we can stop saying, this is not who we are, and acknowledge, oh no, this is who we are, but maybe this is not who we want to be, then there absolutely is hope. But I am not going to sell you hope in a bottle, hope on a screen, and tell you that Dark Brandon's going to come out with his sunglasses tomorrow night when he speaks to the nation, and guess what? Kamala is going to be the next president. I am not going to tell you that. And I have had viewers who are angry about that, as a matter of fact. And I understand from a psychological point of view why the anger. And I understand psychologically that we can't get mad at the people we want to get mad at. So let's get mad at the YouTube reader who is calling things as she sees them. You are allowed to have your feelings. Everyone gets to have their feelings. But if your feelings are expressed rudely, crudely, in an ugly manner, you'll express your feeling and then bibbity bobbity boo, you're gone. You won't even know you're gone. You'll still be able to see what I do. You'll still be able to comment, but no one will see what you say, including me. You will be howling into the void. So I don't mind when people ask me questions. I don't mind if people disagree, but if you cannot disagree agreeably, then we will have to part company. So fair warning. Okay. Um, Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio has been nominated by 45 as Secretary of State. I hope he's learned how to drink from a bottle. Remember that water incident when he grabbed the bottle and drank it, thinking that nobody was going to see him do it, when meanwhile it was on camera for the world to see. But anyway, Marco Rubio of Florida has been nominated as Secretary of State. He's still a young guy, so I'm going to use the young man card for him, and I'd like to look at his nomination and how that will go. All right, so we're looking for the young man, and that will stand for Marco Rubio. And we're looking to see how his nomination will go. Here he is. So that's Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. And our cards are the young woman, the book, there he is, the bear, that's 45, and the stork. So I can say that Marco Rubio, like Pam Bondi, will be confirmed as Secretary of State. So that's 2 for 2. I mean, if you count Hegseth, that's 3 for 3. I think all of them will be confirmed. The next one is Kristi Noem. And Kristi Noem is being nominated for Homeland Security Chief. She's pretty young, so we'll use the young woman for her. Kristi Noem. Okay. So I'm looking for the young woman that will represent Kristi Noem. We're looking to see how her nomination for Homeland Security Secretary will go. Did I miss it? Did I pass it? No, okay. So that's going to be Kristi Noem. Okay. For Kristi Noem's nomination chances, we've got the lily, the bouquet, Kristi Noem, the sun, and the anchor. We are now 4 for 4. I think she will also be confirmed. Okay, so I'm going to put these back. And I want to look at one more. We're not going to look at Tulsi Gabbard yet, although we could. Yeah, let's look at Tulsi Gabbard. So she's been nominated as the National Security Director. And her nomination is as fraught in its own way as Pete Hegseth's and as Robert Kennedy Jr.'s is. And we'll look at Robert Kennedy Jr. in a minute. But Tulsi Gabbard, is widely thought to have, we'll say, divided loyalties. She is, in many circles, thought to be a useful idiot, a foreign asset. She was palling around with Assad, who, of course, is no more. I mean, he lives and he breathes, we assume, in Russia, but not in Syria, because he fled. And she's been friendly-ish towards Putin. So people are saying, and so wait, you're going to nominate her as what? National Security Director? She, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, her clearance, her security clearance, is not complete. There are still questions that have been left unanswered. So she was supposed to be grilled by the Senate committee tomorrow, And apparently that will be postponed until next week or the week after. So let's look at Tulsi Gabbard's chances. And she's, we'll let her be the young woman this time. She's got that white streak of hair, but we'll let her be young. All right, Tulsi Gabbard. Will she be our new Homeland Security head? So we're looking for the young woman. So that's Tulsi Gabbard. All right. So for her, we have the whip, the clouds, there's Gabbard. We have this is 45 also, and then we have the stars. Now, if you've been following along enough to know, you know that there's been lots of arguments about her and whether or not she would be a good pick, and a lot of doubt about whether she would be a good pick. I'm going to pull clarifiers though on the star, the last card. And then maybe I'll even pull cards on the older man who's 45. Okay. So remember, it's the whip, the clouds, Tulsi Gabbard, 45, and then the star. So I pulled cards on 45. And the cards are the bouquet, the younger woman, the older woman, and the cross. Now, these cards look like, with that cross there, she does not move forward. He would love to give her this gift. Here she's represented as both the younger woman and the older woman, so she's both cards. He would love to reward her with this position, but with this cross there, that looks like a no. But then we have the star, and we have the anchor, the sun, and the tower. So here's what I'm going to say. I think that if she had her hearing today, or if they had a vote today, she would not get through. But what is that expression? There's many slip twixt the cup and the lip, which is to say that between now and when she actually is voted on, a lot of things can happen. As of now, it's a no, but that no could easily turn to a yes, I think. She would have to make a very good case for herself and why she is not a Russian asset, an Assad asset, why she is true blue, loyal, American, etc. She has not yet been able to make that case, and has now, sounds like, a couple of weeks to try to make that case. So anything can happen. I will look at her again when we're closer to when her actual hearing will be. And then finally, I'd like to look at Robert Kennedy Jr. I didn't see him on the roster for when he was going to go before the committee. But he is nominated for, as you know, Secretary of Health and Human Services. I've noticed that at first, a lot of people were just horrified and aghast. But I noticed that some of those same people are now saying, well, maybe he wouldn't be so bad, etc. Obviously, just like with Hegseth, there's been a campaign to rehabilitate him, shine him up, burnish him, make him look good, and it could be working. So I'm going to look for, let's look for, he's not young, but we're going to use the young man card for him. Will Robert Kennedy Jr., nominated for Secretary of Health, Education, and Health and Human Services, will he be confirmed? Okay, so we're looking for the younger man. Will Robert Kennedy Jr. be confirmed. Okay, so here he is. Okay. So we have mice and we have tree, we have Robert Kennedy Jr., we have star, and we have the heart. This is so interesting because these two cards together, it's interesting that they appear together. So the mice erodes things. And erodes what? Well, this is the card for health. If he's someone who's against vaccines and all kinds of other weird things he thinks, um, his presence in that position would erode the public health. Nevertheless, he's in the center. We have the star and the heart. I think he will be confirmed. I think there's been a very, very, very strong campaign to win people over for him, people who would vote, win them over. So I don't think it'll be great for us, but I do think he'll be confirmed. So if you're keeping score, the people whom I think will be confirmed are Heth, Bondi, Rubio, Nome, and I think he'll get all four of those. I think Tulsi Gabbard, if she were voted on today, would not get through, but they have 2 weeks or so to rehabilitate her, and then maybe she'll get through as well. And I think Robert Kennedy Jr. will get through. So there's been a lot of sound and fury about many of these nominees, but what did Shakespeare say? Sound and fury signifying nothing. So 45, I think will get what he wants in terms of these choices. The peace deal in the Middle East, I just want to take a quick look at that. It looks like it's on the cusp of going through. Hamas has agreed to it. Israel had agreed to it, but now they're waiting for a final agreement from Israel on that agreement. It will involve the release of the hostages who are still alive and the bodies of the ones who did not survive. It seems like everybody's wanting this deal to go through. I understand that Biden's people who are working on this have said that 45's point person for this has also been very helpful in moving this forward. So will that peace deal get signed and observed? And I'm just going to let spirit decide these cards. Okay. So we're looking at this proposal, this peace deal in the Middle East that would return the hostages and bring peace to the region of Gaza. So I'm going to pull 5 cards. Okay, so we have the dog, the house, coffin is in the center, the birds, and the woman. Now, with the coffin as the central card, you might be tempted to say, oh yeah, it's dead in the water, but that's not what this coffin means. There are other cards that might have indicated that it would be dead in the water. This is the opposite. I feel that this is acting as the card for transformation, which is one of the meanings of this card. I think that this is good. This is uh, allies, people being allies, people talking to each other. And I'm not saying that Israel and Hamas will be allies, but there'll be a truce between them, and they will be able to talk to each other and move forward from there. We have the house here, and it's mirroring this yin energy. So, this is the region that they all live in. It's the home of all of them. It doesn't just belong to one group or another group. So in this house that provides the roof for all of them over there in the Middle East, can there be there's a hope that there can be peace and calm and acceptance and openness and all of the things that yin energy is. So I do think that the deal will go through. It will be signed, and again, we're talking about the Middle East. So will it hold? Time will tell. That remains to be seen. So listen, thank you all for liking, subscribing, sharing, thumbs upping. Thank you for all of your comments. I do read all of them, whether I comment back or not, I do read them all. And I just really appreciate your engagement in this community, and I'm looking forward to serving you more moving forward. So have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you later in the week. Take care.